Hi guys, Rideshare PA here. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. As always, before we get started, if you like the content, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, smash the bell. You know the drill. Today I just wanted to go over a little bit what I try to do on average. It doesn't work out all the time. But on average, I try to hit my hourly rate of 20 bucks an hour when I drive for the entire week. Some days it'll be low, some days it will be high. But in general, I try to, at the end of the week, when I add everything up between Uber and Lyft, I try to hit an hourly goal of $20 an hour. Because at the end of the day in my area with my gas prices and things like that, if I'm hitting 20 bucks an hour after taxes come out, I figure it high at 30% just to be safe. Okay. After taxes come out of that, it's going to be, crap, what did I figure it out at last time? 30% would be $14 an hour. Okay, for taxes, and then let's just say another $2 for gas. Okay, so at the end of the day, if I'm making 20 bucks an hour and I am taking 30% out and $2 out for gas, I'm really only making $12 an hour, which isn't great, but at the same time, it's not bad for part-time work. It's not bad for being flexible, okay? So far this week, I worked a couple hours in the morning on Thursday. I want to say I did 4 hours Thursday morning, 4 hours Friday morning. I did about 3 hours today in the morning, and that would be what, 4, 8, 11, and I did 4 hours last night. Okay, I did a total of 15 hours this week so far. Again, when I wanted to, on my time, around my schedule. And that's the thing I love about Uber and Lyft, is it's flexible. So I added everything up, and so far, not including tonight or tomorrow when I drive, I am at $17.33 an hour. Again, that's not great, but I drive a hybrid, so my gas is cheaper. I did $2 hour, figuring that would be, or $2 for gas. I get 45 miles to the gallon though, so my gas probably isn't that high. It's probably $1 an hour. It all, like I said, because I don't keep driving. But depending on what your taxes are in your area and what your gas prices are, that price could be higher, that could be lower. You need to do your research in your area. But I know, like I said, in my area, I always try to hit 20 bucks an hour. My taxes usually range between 25 and 30%, so I always just go for the higher one to be safe. And then after, what I do is, at the end of my week, then I will add up all my gas to that too, to see what I'm actually making. Okay, so I know from before, I can use this as an example. When I went down to Philly one weekend, I went down for 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I came back with $1,200 before expenses. Okay, so after expenses with that trip, I spent $250 on a hotel for the whole weekend, so that knocked it down to $950. I did have my hybrid at that time, so I also probably spent, I want to say, I think it was 100 or 150 in gas that weekend. So that dropped it down to 800. So in 4 days, I made $200 a day after taxes, that to me is not a bad deal. It could always be better, but I personally don't see a problem with making $800 in 4 days after taxes. So you got to remember, when you watch videos on YouTube or anywhere, people that are saying, I made $22,000 in a week driving for Uber and Lyft, or I made $3,000 a week driving for Uber and Lyft. Yeah, they say that stuff, and they even put their earnings up to post it, and good for you. You know what? You made that much money. If that's true, good for you. You hustled, you made a lot of money. But you also have to remember that that is pre-taxed, that is pre-expenses, okay? They are not counting their gas into that. Some don't, some do, some don't. But most of them don't count their gas. They don't count if they have a car payment, okay? And they use their car specifically for Uber and Lyft. They don't add that in there. They don't divide that up. Some people have a car wash that they go to. Like me personally, I go to the same car wash every single day or every other day. I pay a monthly membership. It's $40 a month, and I can go there every single day if I want to and get my car washed. Now, at the end of the year, I do write that off on my taxes. That's a business expense that I use for Uber and Lyft. But you have to add these things into your total cost, guys. Like I said, I live like an hour and a half from Philadelphia, so when I go down there on the weekends, I do rent a cheap hotel, and I count that in as a business expense. Like, I am going down there to specifically drive for Uber and Lyft. So that is something that whatever I make at the end of the week, you have to add that in and count that off, because it's something that you're paying for to drive for Uber and Lyft. If you live in a great big city, then you don't have to do that. That's awesome. But in my market area, like this weekend so far, like I said, I've made $260 for 3 days in my market. That's not bad. If I go out tonight, I'll probably make another 100, maybe 150. So I'll be at like 400. But like I said, I can go down to Philly and I can either double or triple that, working maybe double the hours. So I can go down there, work double the hours I work here. So instead of working 15, I'll work 30. But I can either double or triple what I made up here. So for me, it's worth it to go down there, spend money on a hotel, because I can end up making like 2.5 to 3 times the amount I make in my market up here. I can make down there usually 2 to 3 times what I make up here. So it's worth it for me to spend that extra money to go down there and make that money. But like I said, guys, you always need to try to have an idea, set a goal of what you want to make for the week, set an hourly goal, and try and stick with that. It is also worth your time to look at your look at what rides you're accepting. This morning I had a delivery that I was gonna do. It was for a McDonald's, but then I looked and it was 12 minutes away. I'm not gonna drive 12 minutes to go pick up McDonald's for somebody and have it be like a $5 delivery, because you don't know, you could have to drive 12 minutes and then get there, pick it up, and have to drive another 12 minutes. That's a 30-minute drive, and you're probably only going to make $5 or $6. It's not worth it. So pick your rides. If it doesn't make sense to you business-wise, or you don't think you're going to basically make your money back from that ride, don't take it. Start thinking, if you really want to make money with this job, you need to start thinking about the rides that you take and if they will be worth it or not. Sometimes they pan out, and sometimes they don't. I know last night I had a ride. It was like 15 minutes away, and I turned it down on Lyft because I didn't feel like driving that far for something that was probably not going to work. And I turned it down, and I got back on Uber, and the next thing I know, I'm getting a ping, and it's a 35-minute ride, and it paid me $32. So sometimes it makes sense to turn the crappy rides away, and you might get rewarded with a decent ride. So, alright guys, I hope everybody has a good weekend, and Rideshare PA out. Have a great one, guys.